What's up, everyone? Welcome to Say What I Mean. I like to usually come to y'all a little bit earlier, but had to take care of a few things, but that's all right. I make sure I always make it to do these lives with y'all because I enjoy it. But just a couple things I want to talk about today. Of course, I want to talk about the overall situation with COVID and the White House. That's the big topic. And it seems to be maybe might be window dressing, but might be a little bit of progress on reparations. And I'll break that down to y'all real quick. And also what to watch out for the rest of the week. So let's get to it. Of course, broke late last week. Everybody been talking about the COVID situation in Trump. And my overall thoughts on this situation is ready. This is going to be revolutionary. Nobody has said this yet. And, I'm really proud of my commentary on this. My thoughts is, I don't know. And the reason why I say that is people are so scared to say they don't know about a situation. People will make up facts. People will say things that's not true. People will speculate. People will believe rumors. And it's okay just to say, you don't know. And what I mean by I don't know his overall health condition. Is it more serious than the White House says it is? Or was it more serious? Probably. I do believe that, but there's no way I can prove it. Some people think this was a ploy and this was fake, plot to gain sympathy. Could it be? I guess. I put nothing past anybody, especially Trump and the government. But the reason why I don't buy into that particular theory is this. I don't think Trump getting COVID make him look good and make him look hypocritical, make him like a clown. Now, yes, it did change the topic from his awful debate performance, and also changed the topic from his wife tapes that leaked when she was talking about going to the border and how it was just how she was mad she didn't get the proper media coverage. Yes, it was a bad week for him and it changed the topic, but I would doubt if that's the case, especially now that coming out that it seemed like damn near everybody that worked in the White House and caught COVID. You know, it would take that would be a lot. It would be a thorough plot, and I just don't see that happening. So I don't think that's it. So what was it? We don't know. I guess my theory is that he is sick. Probably was a little bit worse than the White House was letting on. Is he in danger of dying? I guess anybody can if you get something like COVID, especially that age and weight. But I highly doubt that just because he's not like a regular person. He's gonna have the best help available. So I doubt that happened. Will it affect the election in any way? I don't think so. The people that wasn't going to vote for Trump and didn't like Trump, it's not going to vote for him. It's not going to give him any sympathy votes. The people that like Trump, it's not going to make them not vote for him. So I just think this is a big story. You got to watch out for it because of his age bracket and how he's overweight. You do have to watch it because it could be very dangerous for somebody in his demographics. But overall, we just have to wait and see. And that's my overall thoughts on it. However, my other thoughts is, I say this all the time, but people don't take issues seriously until it directly hit them. Now, Trump was just clowning about not having a mask on and all this stuff. He was kind of clowning, buying about it, and just overall the last few months, he's been kind of anti-mask for whatever reason. It makes no sense. But Now that he got COVID, I wonder if that stance going to continue. Right before I came on air, there was reports that he walked in the White House without a mask, and just like, will this dude ever learn? But I wonder how his language on COVID is going to change, or if it's going to change at all. What I hope don't happen, but I can definitely see happening, is he recovered from COVID. He tells everybody, "Oh, it's not as serious as everybody make it out to be. Look, I made it through." Hopefully that doesn't happen, but I can definitely see a scenario where he does that and try to downplay COVID because his response has been so terrible to it. But overall, we have to wait and see. I don't think it's going to change the dynamics of this race one way or the other, though, overall. So that's just my thoughts on that. Now, the other part of this broadcast, as I mentioned earlier, there seems to be, and I say seems, a little bit of progress on the reparations front. Why? Gavin Newsom. If you don't know who that is, that's the governor of California. He signed a bill stating that it's going to be a task force put in place in California, a committee, and they're going to do recommendations for reparations for the state legislators to take up. And that is progress. It is progress. It's not what I would like overall, but it's a step in the right direction. And you kind of got to take your wins when you can get them. It's not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to be a slow roll to the ultimate goal. And I say that with every goal, whether it's reparations, whether it's universal health care or Medicare for all, whether it's free college or student loan forgiveness, whatever issue you care about. Most of the time, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be years and years of hard work on this. So on that front, it is positive. As they say, the devil is always in the details. So could this be window dressing? Could this be just an attempt to placate a particular voting bloc? In this case, the Black voting bloc? Sure. The details we have so far is going to be a 9-member task force, and they considering a bunch of different outcomes. They considering maybe the reparations is not just for Black people, which I think most of Black people that are in support of reparations is not going to feel. But that's not a guarantee either. So I don't want to harp too much on that part just because we don't know. What I want to see is who's going to be elected or basically assigned to this task force. What are their backgrounds? And I'm interested to see the solutions they come up with, because it might not be cash. And if I was a betting person, I doubt if it's going to be a cash solution they come up with. Who knows? But apparently they're supposed to meet by June 1st and come up with a solution within a year. Also, part of it is the bill is supposed to educate the citizens of California about slavery and the history of slavery, which is cool too, because I think people do need to be educated on not just the history of slavery, but also the history of Jim Crow and just the overall history of discrimination of Black people in this country. So I'm not against that, but what I don't want is just a history lesson with no concrete steps. Now, when it comes to reparations, a lot of people feel different ways about it, and I'm not going to tell anybody how they should feel that support reparations. If you don't support reparations, I have to give you the side eye, because it's like, you defaulting on the bill. You know what I'm saying? Black people was promised certain stuff after slavery, the 40 acres and a mule. Also, we was discriminated against after slavery when it came to getting certain positions. Black people wasn't able to get certain jobs. We weren't able to get certain government programs that came with the New Deal, even stuff like Social Security. It was we wasn't able to get it like our white counterparts when it first came about. Now, Black people definitely could get Social Security, but even when it first came about, we were discriminated against with that. We were discriminated against when it came to the GI Bill after World War II. And these are the ways that families built wealth throughout this country history. And we wasn't allowed to do that. So it definitely is deserved. You have stuff like the eugenics program, which targeted a lot of Black people. I mean, they sterilized Black women in North Carolina. You know, not all Black women, but a certain segment of Black women was sterilized in North Carolina, not just in North Carolina, too. It happened in other states as well. So it's just so much stuff that happened. Black Wall Street is finally getting its proper due. More people are starting to be aware of what happened in Tulsa, and that wasn't the only incident like that, where Black people build prosperous neighborhood that that was progressive, that was well-to-do, and it was burnt down by the white people in the town. It happened all over this country. Black theaters, Black businesses was burnt down all throughout the country. But in even the most famous case, Black Wall Street, it's just now starting to get its due. So that's just it. But for those that support reparations, there's some people that only feel cash reparations would do. And I understand that sentiment. Some people have other ideas like free education, student loan forgiveness. I'm not for that just because I want that for everybody. I think that's a policy that certain people, certain progressives is already pushing for everybody. So if that does happen, that's, you know, I wouldn't want that included in Black reparations if we're fighting for everybody to get that. What I would like to see, I definitely forecast reparations, but I'm open to other ideas if it makes sense. Certain housing loans, or excuse me, housing grants, I should say. Especially since we was discriminated when it came to GI Bill and VA loans. Also with the history of redlining, steering, block busting, certain housing discriminations that happen with Black people, some type of housing reparations out before. So I'm open to a bunch of different ideas, but we have to keep an eye on this because, you know, this committee could turn out to be nothing. Could just be a milquetoast task force that basically will do something like opportunity zones, which really don't help Black people. You know what I'm saying? So it, like I said, the devil's in the details. We have to keep an eye on this and see where it goes. So, but overall, a positive step. And, you know, the conversation is happening at least. So I appreciate that. Now, other news on reparations is this is an idea that I actually like. Robert Smith. And if y'all don't know who Robert Smith is, it's speculated that he is the richest Black person in America. He worth about $5 billion. He made news, was it last year or was it the year before, where he went to Morehouse and he was going to pay off everybody that went to that college student loan debt. So he seemed to be very pro-Black. Shout outs to him. He said that corporations that benefited off of the transatlantic slave trade should offer reparations. And I agree. And I think this is another route we can take, because to get what we want when it comes to policy, sometimes we're going to have to be creative, especially since the current occupant of the White House is Trump and Republicans control the Senate. Even if Trump loses and Biden's in the office and the Democrats take control of the Senate, we still are going to have to be creative and put pressure on state and local level as well, because it's not going to happen overnight in the federal government. And a lot of Democrats don't support these initiatives either, whether it comes to reparations or whether it comes from for let's just say student loan forgiveness, or whether it's tuition free college, whatever it is, a lot of Democrats don't support it either. So being creative and getting some of these policy objectives through is something we got to do. So what Robert Smith's saying is some of these companies, they should give 2% of their net income to fund and use it kind of like as a reparation fund to Black people in America. And yes, I think that's one route we definitely should go, because there's several different companies that benefited off the transatlantic slave trade. There's companies that did business with the Nazis. Yes, I support that route. I definitely do support that. So if we can get something like that, 2% fund, along with different state efforts, we can slowly get this ball rolling. And don't get discouraged, y'all. I know politics sometimes just seem like, why bother? It's all a game. It's all set up. What we do doesn't matter. They don't count our votes. You got stuff like the Electoral College, where somebody can lose an election by 3 million votes and somehow still win. You got voter suppression efforts, all of that. But my thing is this, progress is never easy, and you never get nowhere without actually trying. So I do think a lot of objectives we want, we can get. We can definitely get. It doesn't mean it's going to happen overnight. And hell, sometimes it won't happen in our lifetimes. But, you got to live for something. You can't just lay down. If you're passionate about an issue, or if you feel strongly about something, why just let the BS continue to happen? Why don't you get active? Do what you can, whether you have to run for office yourself, start an organization, do whatever it is that you have to do to get involved. You know what I'm saying? Be productive out there. There's no use of just sitting back and complaining about the issue. Even if, your contribution is making your family, your immediate family, your kids, raising them right, and making them aware of certain issues. If that's what you feel like your contribution is, so be it. If your contribution is donating to what you feel is a worthy cause, go do it. You know what I'm saying? Not if you feel like it's an organization out there trying to craft policies that you believe in, donate to that. But just be active, do something. There's a whole bunch of issues out there. Your issues don't have to be the same as mine that you care about, but just get out there, whatever you believe in. Whether your issue is trying to help alleviate the homeless situation in this country. There's a bunch of different housing policies. There's a bunch of different stuff you can look up and try to address those issues. But overall, just get active, in whatever way you can, make something out of your life. And, when you go on, try to leave a legacy. So that's what I got. That's what I got for today. But, tomorrow, I think I'm going to do a little bit of hip hop talk. It's about that time. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of hip hop, a little bit of battle rap talk. I'm feeling the mood to do that. Yeah. So catch me tomorrow. I'm going to be live at 7. Also, we got some comic talk coming up. Big comic fan. I got Consciousness in Comics definitely coming up. So I'm going to be out there. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.